Why are some of the world's biggest airlines quietly turning away from Boeing and moving decisively toward Airbus? There's a powerful story behind this shift, one that reveals how strategy, safety, trust, and technology are reshaping global aviation. Today, we dive deep into the choices of two iconic carriers, KLM and Qantas. Both are facing a defining moment. Both are betting big on Airbus, and both are navigating dilemmas that could reshape their futures. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you'll understand why major airlines are making this shift, and the hidden risks that come with it. The aviation world is in a state of transformation. Costs are rising, sustainability targets are tightening, and public scrutiny has never been higher. Airlines everywhere are under pressure to modernize, simplify, and future-proof their fleets. And in that environment, Airbus has managed to position itself not just as a manufacturer, but as a symbol of reliability and innovation. For decades, Boeing was the gold standard, the aircraft builder that defined modern flight. But a series of crises over the last few years, from production delays to regulatory investigations, have chipped away at its reputation. Meanwhile, Airbus kept delivering, quietly, steadily, efficiently, and that reliability has turned into something priceless: trust. Part 1. KLM. KLM, the world's oldest airline still operating under its original name, has long been loyal to Boeing. Its short-haul routes across Europe have been dominated by the 737. Its long-haul flights featured the 777 and the Dreamliner. For decades, this relationship defined KLM's fleet identity. But recently, that loyalty began to crack. The reason? An aging fleet and an evolving world. KLM is part of the Air France KLM group, which has been steadily shifting its long-term strategy toward Airbus for reasons that go beyond price. The group is heavily focused on reducing emissions, lowering maintenance costs, and simplifying operations. Airbus offers an advantage here. Its new A321neo and A350 families are cleaner, quieter, and more efficient. KLM took delivery of its first Airbus A321neo in 2024, marking a historic transition. The aircraft's arrival was more than a fleet update. It was a statement. KLM was signaling to the world that the era of the Boeing 737 was ending, and the Airbus generation had arrived. Why the shift? The A321neo burns significantly less fuel per seat than the 737s it replaces. And that's not just about saving money. It's about meeting environmental targets and appeasing regulators who are increasingly strict about emissions. The aircraft is also quieter, offering a smoother experience for passengers and less noise pollution for communities around airports. Then there's the question of maintenance and training. Standardizing around Airbus gives KLM and its group partners, including Air France, massive logistical advantages: shared parts, shared maintenance programs, shared training facilities. Less fragmentation means fewer costs and higher efficiency. But perhaps the biggest reason of all lies in confidence. Boeing's recent quality control challenges, delivery delays, and regulatory struggles have made airlines nervous. When billions of dollars are tied up in a fleet, trust becomes as important as technology. Yet the decision wasn't easy. KLM still operates many Boeing jets, and the process of phasing them out will take years. Retraining pilots, retooling maintenance systems, and integrating new cockpit philosophies is a huge undertaking. For KLM, the Airbus shift is both a leap forward and a balancing act, progress with risk attached. Part 2. Qantas lets fly to Australia. To Qantas, where the shift toward Airbus has been even more dramatic. Qantas has long been a Boeing stronghold. The airline's domestic network was built on Boeing 737s, while its long-haul routes featured the 747 and later the 787 Dreamliner. For decades, Boeing and Qantas seemed inseparable. But in 2021, something changed. Qantas announced Project Winton, its most ambitious fleet renewal in history. After months of analysis, the airline stunned the industry by choosing Airbus for its next generation of domestic and long-haul aircraft. It ordered A220s to replace its smaller Boeing 717s and A321XLRs to replace its 737s. For long-haul routes, Qantas confirmed the massive A350-1000 to spearhead Project Sunrise, the dream of non-stop flights from Sydney to London and New York. In one stroke, Qantas reshaped its future and its identity. Why Airbus? The answer starts with flexibility. The A321XLR offers longer range than the 737, meaning Qantas can fly farther without switching to larger wide-body jets. That opens new possibilities for direct routes and gives the airline more freedom to adjust its network based on demand. Then there's efficiency. Airbus has optimized its new generation engines and aerodynamics for maximum performance per seat, giving Qantas a significant edge in both cost and emissions. But perhaps the most powerful driver is strategic. After years of Boeing challenges, Qantas wanted a clean slate, new technology, new trust, new image. Airbus offered exactly that. Of course, there have been complications. Delivery schedules have been delayed, certification issues have slowed rollout, and some design details have sparked public debate. Yet for Qantas, the big picture remains clear. The Airbus bet isn't just about airplanes, it's about the future of the brand itself. For a company that sells trust as much as tickets, that matters. Part 3. Let's compare KLM and Qantas. KLM's switch is gradual, methodical, and largely driven by group strategy and environmental regulations. It's about aligning with Air France, simplifying the fleet, and meeting European sustainability goals. Qantas, by contrast, is making a bold, sweeping transformation. Its decision reflects not just technical logic, but a strategic gamble that Airbus technology will carry it through the next 2 decades of competition and climate regulation. In both cases, Airbus represents stability and progress. Boeing, meanwhile, represents legacy and uncertainty. But this transition isn't without risks. Airbus is now struggling with its own production backlog as more airlines flood its order books. Every delay means millions lost and schedules disrupted. The more the world turns to Airbus, the more stretched its capacity becomes, and that could create new problems of its own. There's also the question of technological timing. Aviation is on the brink of revolution, with hydrogen, hybrid, and electric propulsion on the horizon. If those technologies mature faster than expected, the massive investment in today's aircraft could quickly look outdated. For airlines like KLM and Qantas, that's the real dilemma. Invest now in proven technology, or wait and risk being left behind. Part 4. Why is Airbus winning this new industrial war? The answer lies in design philosophy. Airbus has built its advantage on standardization and scalability. The A320 family shares common cockpits and systems across models, making pilot training faster and cheaper. The A350 and A330 Neo share structural and technological DNA, which simplifies maintenance. Every new variant builds on a unified digital architecture, reducing complexity for operators. Airbus also focused heavily on production reliability. While Boeing grappled with supply chain disruptions and inspection issues, Airbus streamlined its European manufacturing ecosystem, investing in automation, robotics, and predictive maintenance software. The result? A company better able to deliver what it promises, on time and to spec. And then there's perception. In the modern world, safety and image are intertwined. Airbus's record of stability and environmental commitment gives it a halo effect that Boeing has struggled to match. When governments and the public are watching, perception can shape billions in business decisions. Part 5. Boeing. But let's not forget, Boeing isn't out of the game. The company is still a major player with deep engineering expertise and a massive installed base. Many airlines remain loyal. The 787 Dreamliner, for instance, is still one of the most successful long-haul aircraft ever built. Boeing's focus on refining the 777X and future single-aisle projects could yet shift the balance again. Still, perception is powerful, and right now, Airbus has the momentum. For passengers, this shift means more modern cabins, quieter flights, and potentially more direct routes as range and efficiency improve. For regulators, it means tighter partnerships with airlines on emissions compliance. And for the aviation world at large, it marks the start of a new competitive era, one where trust, technology, and transparency matter more than legacy. So, what does the future hold for KLM and Qantas? For KLM, the Airbus transition is a chance to modernize within stability, a slow but steady evolution into a greener, more efficient airline. It's about harmonizing with Air France and securing long-term competitiveness in a highly regulated European market. For Qantas, it's a bold redefinition. The airline is betting its identity on Airbus technology, tying its next generation of routes, aircraft, and image to this partnership. The stakes are enormous, but so is the potential reward. Here's the bigger takeaway. The aviation industry has entered a new phase of realism. Airlines no longer chase brand loyalty to manufacturers. They chase adaptability. The Airbus shift isn't about favoritism, it's about survival. As airlines face economic, environmental, and operational pressures, Airbus has managed to offer not just airplanes, but predictability. In a world full of turbulence, predictability is priceless. Yet every shift brings its own risks. Airbus's production strain could mirror Boeing's past struggles. Innovation could leap ahead faster than expected. And the very dominance Airbus now enjoys could, if unchecked, invite the same complacency that once hurt its rival. For now, though, one thing is clear. Airbus has captured the moment. KLM and Qantas are only two examples of a much broader movement, one where trust, efficiency, and future readiness trump tradition. The skies are changing. The duopoly that defined modern aviation is shifting balance once again. So the question remains, will Boeing bounce back? Or are we witnessing the start of an Airbus decade? Whichever side you're on, one truth stands tall. In aviation, history always rewards the ones who adapt fastest. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into how aviation's biggest players are shaping our world. And let's continue this conversation. Which airline do you think made the smarter move? KLM or Qantas? Because the next time you board a flight, look at that logo on the nose of your aircraft. It might just tell you where the future of aviation is headed.